Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another predictions video, and in today's video I'm going to be predicting the Wassabi versus Idubbz fight. If you are new around here then you haven't subscribed, please do so, like the video if you do need like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, of course this isn't like a big kind of boxing prediction, and I wasn't going to do a prediction for this fight, but I just thought, I went back and watched some of the old fights from the last event, and I just thought why not, and it looked like it was an entertaining event. I mean, it was an entertaining event, and so yeah, I thought why not. As of always with the YouTube cards, we're going to go through all of it and go for each fight and say who's going to win for each fight. So it's a bit different to what I do for the normal predictions. But I really don't know much about a lot of these fighters, so just bear with me. I'm probably going to be rambling on a little bit, but let's get straight into it, I suppose. So there's quite a lot of fights on this card. So yeah, we're going to start off with Manifold versus Olave. I really don't know a lot about these fighters, but Olave, I'm pretty sure I've seen him fight before. I might be wrong, but I think he has fought in some fighting sport before, so I'm going to go with him to win. That's about as much as I'm going off, and that's probably me going off a lot for that fight. Moving on now to Jayla Ray versus Sabrina. Haven't really got overly too much of a reason as to why I'm picking Jayla Ray to win. But I think she is going to win. That's a fight which, I mean, I've watched the on the Instagram page, they've been doing like head-to-heads of them, but they're not really that insightful. But that's kind of the only insight that I've got for some of the fights. And yeah, no, I'm gonna pick Jayla Ray to win. Not really got a reason why, just picking her to win. Dad versus AB. Dad was in the last card. I believe he won. And he seems like he is quite a good fighter. AB is one of the hate-free guys, I think. And I think he was also in one of the last cards, but I think he lost. I might be wrong. But yeah, so I think Dad's gonna win. I think it's a good test, that one, and one of the better fights on this card. Moving on now to Leon Hart versus Crank Gameplays. I'm gonna go with Crank Gameplays. Leon Hart is a Pokemon guy, I believe. And he is stepping in the ring for the first time. I believe that also Crank Gameplays is stepping in for the first time as well. Yeah, I've just seen a little bit of the training footage, and I just think Crank Games is going to win. Sorry if you can hear the rain, by the way. UK weather, terrible. Moving on now to Mika versus Pierce. I feel like I had a reason as to why I'm picking Mika. I don't know if I do though. But I'm picking Mika. I don't know why I'm picking Mika. I'm picking Mika though. Moving on to Hansen versus Johnson. I'm going to go with Johnson. I think he is one of the bigger guys, if I'm right in saying. I can't remember who's who. There's too many people on this card. But yeah, I'm going to go with Johnson for that fight. Now it's a fight which I actually watched both the last fights in Myth versus Honda. Honda, quite an impressive to an extent victory in his last fight. I believe it was against AB. I might be wrong. And then Myth winning versus Churdleys as well. He looked quite good in that. He managed to range quite well. And he looked quite comfortable in there and didn't panic too much. A lot of these fighters, obviously, as they are just starting, they can panic quite a bit in the ring, but he didn't, and he looked quite good. So I'm going to go with Myth to win, but I think this is a good step up for Myth. And I think if he could win, he could move on to like a Misfits event, or could be like one of the bigger names in somebody else's events, or even if they do Create a Clash 3, he could be like a co-main event or something. I'm surprised he is as low down as he is for this, but yeah, I think Myth's gonna win. I think he fought in the chess boxing or something versus Churdleys. Don't really understand the concept. Haven't really looked too much into it. But he still looked good in it from the actual fighting side of it. Moving on now to Sharp versus Ray. I believe Sharp fought in the last fight. I might be wrong. In the women's fight, and she didn't win, but it was a good contest. And I mean, it wasn't overly technical or anything, but they both showed immense heart and just kind of battered each other for the whole fight, and it was very entertaining, to be honest. And that fight was one of the reasons why I wanted to do a prediction for this card. And I mean, the Idubbz fight as well was one as well. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Sharp to win that one, just with the more experience. I think she's gonna win. Moving on now to Haynes versus Chris Reagan. Haynes is a kind of bodybuilder kind of guy, or he does a lot of weights and stuff, and so he's a big guy, so I'm going to go with him to win. I know nothing about Chris Reagan, but I'm going to go with Haynes to win. Now moving on to Kerr versus Botsk. I think they're both quite athletic people. I'm going to go with Kerr to win. I think she's just more athletic and just built more to be able to, I suppose, box in a way. I don't know. I think she does a lot of running. I might be wrong. Don't really go off much of my word for this. This is just more my entertainment more than maybe yours. I don't know how much you're enjoying this video. But I'm enjoying going through it. And so now moving on to Hennigan versus Morenstein. Hennigan, I believe, is like a WWE type guy, wrestler type bloke. And he's come over to boxing for his first fight, I believe. Morenstein, they're both big guys. And I don't think Hennigan's striking is at all good at all. I'm not saying that many of these fighters have got great striking, but I don't think that was one of Hennigan's best kind of attributes. And so everybody kind of picking him over Morenstein because he is the ex-wrestler. It doesn't really mean much when it's wrestling like WWE type wrestling, in my opinion. And I've seen little bits of both their pad work and stuff, and I'm going to go with Morenstein to win. Kind of maybe the only boldish shout that I'm going for. But, that's all the undercard. Take what you want from that. Now we'll move on to the main event, and that is Wassabi versus Idubbz. This fight is a good main event. I'm happy for this fight. Both the main events so far have been quite good for the Creator Clash. Idubbz versus Dr. Mike was a great fight. Idubbz showed immense heart in that fight, and obviously he didn't look technically great or anything like that, and neither did Dr. Mike, but it was just immense showing of heart and will and determination, and he never gave in, and he was putting on the pressure the whole time, even when he was getting battered at points, and he stayed up. He could have dropped at any point, and he didn't. He had a good chin, stayed up, so credit to him. Wasabi's last fight versus Deji, obviously he won that. It was a little while ago now, but he won that convincingly. Deji didn't throw at all, didn't really put on much pressure. Wassabi didn't look amazing, but he didn't look terrible. He had a good jab. I'm going to go with Idubbz to win this fight via TKO in round 4. I'm giving my actual full prediction for this main event. I think Idubbz, if he fights like he fought in the Dr. Mike fight with the constant pressure being put on and just not being afraid to come forward, which he wasn't, then I think that'd be just too much for Alex Wassabi, because I don't think he's fought an opponent like that. And so yeah, like I said, I think it'd be a bit too much for him, and it's just a complete opposite to what the Deji he fought was. That version of him, and so yeah, I think Idubbz is going to win and get his first win on his event, his company. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you did enjoy. Like if you did, like the video, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.